Hi guys, my name is Maggie, and for the past 3 years I have been serving as a DCE field worker at Trinity. Today I want to talk to you guys about what it's like to have faith in college. I started my collegiate career wanting to be a DCE and going into church work. And so I knew that my faith was going to be important to me in these past 4 years, but I never really understood how much it would really change the way I thought about God. So I'm from Iowa, I'm in Iowa right now. I went to a public high school there with a pretty large class, and there were not that many Christians around me. But I found the ones that were there, and I had a lot of friends who believed the same things that I did, and we were comfortable talking about our faith. So I knew what it was like to have friends who were in the faith. My best friend goes to church with me, and that was a really important thing for me. Even though I was involved in about every single thing imaginable, I still found time to go to church because my parents thought it was very important every week for 8 a.m. on Sundays. Even if I had something going on until 2 a.m. the morning or the night before, we would still be in church, worshiping together as a family, and my best friend would actually be sitting right next to me the whole time. So that was a pretty cool thing. And doing that got me wanting to be involved in the church for the rest of my life. And so I felt the calling for God to tell me to be a DCE. So I knew that I wanted to do that. And that required me to want to go to a Christian college. Not just Christian, but Lutheran. There's not many of them. They're tiny. Like, tiny. But I found myself at Concordia, Chicago, and I have absolutely loved the experience. But I'm going to talk about what it's like to have faith in any college, because not all of you are going to want to go to a tiny Lutheran college. There's a lot of great other opportunities elsewhere. And the biggest thing that I have learned over the past 4 years is that God is calling you to do anything that He wants you to. And that's really somewhat up to you, but it's really all in God's calling. But He places really important people next to you the whole time. And my faith has worked a lot through my friends and my mentors and the people around me. So even if you're not going to chapel every day or having that rich faith environment in your classes, there are still so many people on campus for you to get involved and just starting out with conversations. And it's really all in the friendships that you see Christ working. I am still involved in music and orchestra, and in my tiny Lutheran Concordia, Chicago, we are able to talk about our faith and what all of the words in our songs and choir mean to worship God. But that might not be feasible elsewhere, but it's always really cool to see in private devotion or even just conversations with your friends who you see at church. Hopefully you're able to find a church that you can really belong to there at school. Going to Trinity for the past 3 years has been really helpful to have a center of faith that is not at school. So even if you're going to another college, my best friend goes to an engineering school in Missouri, and she was able to find a Lutheran church down there that she's been a part of all 4 years, and she's got a great Bible study group going with her there too. So really, the biggest thing is that faith goes hand in hand with friendship. My group of friends at school are the closest people I've ever been to. They have been with me through thick and through thin, and we've really become closer because of the conversations that we've been able to have about Jesus and bringing up the tough questions. I remember driving back from Chicago with one of my best friends. He's going to be a pastor and I'm going to be a church worker, but that doesn't mean that we don't have questions. And we were able to just talk about them and raise up interesting questions and really have conversations about what it's like to be in a world that doesn't always know God and doesn't always love God, but we can be that light in the world. We can really shine through people and through our classes. So yeah, I hope that really helps you guys, and I encourage you to Really have those tough conversations. Don't be afraid to take a stand for what you believe in, because God is working with you and through you through all of these times. Bye!
Hello everyone, my name is Cassidy. I was one of your Concordia DCE field workers at Trinity Roselle. Had a lot of fun times serving you guys, and if you do recognize me from the lock-in we had in February, that was me. I was leading it. So I had a lot of fun with that. But today I'm here to share about how you can use your faith in college and just how I've done that in my own journey as I wrap up my college career coming up throughout this next year. So a couple things of advice is just to, number one, get involved when you go to college and when you start this big journey. You're going to be there kind of alone, and it can be a little scary, but knowing that there's a lot of groups and support systems built on campus that can help you is a great thing to take advantage of. So what I did was I joined a lot of groups because I wanted to meet a lot of people and I wanted to stay connected in my faith and see how I can use that at college. So I joined groups like CYM, which is Concordia Youth Ministries, or Christian Youth Ministries. I feel I may have messed that up, but they basically do lock-ins for other churches, and it's just a great community of people that have the same faith as you, and you can grow alongside them and be supported by them and everything. Another group I joined was women's ministry. I was the events coordinator. It was a fun position because I got to, build a little bit of community with the girls on my campus, and also be able to share a bit about my faith with them and have them do the same with me. So that was a fun opportunity of leadership and also a great way to meet new people. Another thing I did was I got involved with other organizations that weren't exactly faith-based. If you guys have heard of Dance Marathon, our school did that. I was on the events team, the coordinating team, so kind of like a big position. And I was doing that for all 4 years at college. So that was a great experience of just meeting new people outside of my faith, but also being able to share my faith with them through the process of building up the team and also coordinating events for the grand event for Dance Marathon. So that was a great way to meet new people that weren't like me. Another thing I did was that I joined an after-school program with like a local church nearby my campus, and I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities to do that at other colleges as well. So definitely check into sites off campus, because you don't just have to stay on campus to use your faith. You can branch out and use it elsewhere, because that's what I decided I wanted to do when I joined the after-school program. It was mainly with younger kids aging from like preschool to, I'd say, like 8th grade. I'm not gonna stop it there, but that age range. So we had a lot of fun getting to know each and every one of them. It was definitely a different environment. These kids came from different backgrounds than I did, and they also are growing up in a different neighborhood than I am. And they've had different life experiences than me. So it was great for me to learn from them and for me to be a support system or mentor for them, just a positive light. And they were also a great positive light in my life as well. And I was able to share just a little bit about my beliefs with them. But just building that relationship is the number one step for sharing your faith. So don't worry about having to share your faith on the first meet with anybody. Just build that relationship first, and then you can start to work in the conversation about your beliefs and who you are as a child of God. So last thing I want to leave you with here today about keeping your faith in college is that college life is a little stressful, and it can be a huge temptation as soon as you get there. It's not like high school at all. People are going to tell you that it's similar, but it's not. You're going to be thrown into different temptations and situations that are going to push you away from your faith, and it's going to be hard to say no because we're just naturally sinful, and it's just who we are. We're not perfect like God is, but that's why He died for our sins. But when those temptations do arise, just be strong in who you are. Know that you're still God's child. You're still forgiven if you make mistakes. But just know that He's there with you, and He's willing to be strong with you and allow you to overcome those temptations. You don't have to give in. You don't have to do anything to be cool. That's not what it's about. College is about discovering who you are and growing as a student, being educated, but also growing in a child of God aspect. So growing in your faith. And then one more thing. Keep in contact with your DCEs and people who have been mentoring you along the way. They are great support systems for you, and they will always be there beside you, willing to guide you back to the path that God has created for you. So your DCEs, Mark and Erica, they have been with you on this journey through confirmation, and they are so excited for you. So always remember them as you move forward in life, and don't be afraid to reach out to them if you're struggling. That's a great thing that I've been able to use in college, just being able to reach out to people who have helped me take the big steps along the way and be able to get rerooted back in my faith. So hopefully what I've said here today has helped you a little bit and has helped you plan for the future, just a small amount. Don't worry about college too soon, but do know that there are opportunities to use your faith and to reach out to those around you, not just on campus. And there's ways to grow in your faith as well, no matter what college you choose to go to. So I pray you guys are staying safe during quarantine and you're staying healthy. And I just hope you have a great day, and I pray over all of you. Bye.